turn you into a nacho. And so everybody has a story. Joe has one, Sean has one, I have one. You all have a story. My dad was a pastor, had a master's degree. He's really smart. And he said, I named you James because in the Bible you're the son of thunder. So I'm going to thunder strike you today. And he said, it's a powerful name and names mean something. And he said, I want you to hear me. And he held my face in his hands. He said, James, the world will give you what you're willing to accept. And I pee a lot because I'm old, and I just did. And I always wash my hands, not because of stupid Fauci, I just wash my hands a lot. And I look at my fingers because my fingerprints are different than every person on planet Earth. Out of 8 billion, there's only one of you, and there's only one of me. Why did God do that? It's a reminder that you're extraordinary. You're not normal. Normal people blow. They never accomplish what they need to. And Americans, they get so shot up with like watching sports and stuff that you're a fan. Fans sit on their rear ends to watch other people play. They never win anything. They just waste their time. And you're stupid enough to believe if your team wins, you actually win. No, Gomez. And you'll buy a man's jersey with somebody else's name and walk around town like you're them. No, you're an idiot. None of them want to be you. Why do you want to be them? And if that offended you, go home and watch CNN and lick your television. I can already tell the people that are. Just let your underwear go. I mean, it's okay. It's good. We will get through this together. Haven't you done an overhead yet? Some of you look like you're on death alert. Just relax. Okay, it's going to be safe. And so we all have a story. And, you know, I always wanted little girls, so God gave me little boys. And my guidance counselor in high school told me, you're not college material. And she said, you didn't do good on your SAT score. So she gives me a list of all the toe-sucking, puke, disgusting jobs I could do to make other people's dreams come true at the expense of my home. And so she thought I was ignorant, but she drove a Mazda, so I knew she didn't get it. And she rented an apartment. And see, at 14, I was 6'6", and don't ask, don't tell. Construction company hired me as a roofer. And this black Mercedes kept going back and forth with black-in windows, and I came off the roof with no shirt on. I never wore a shirt. I had really long hair, longer than most of you women, and I tapped on the window of the car, and I said, you on the subdivision? He said, I do. I said, what's your name? He said, Elmer Trammell. I said, could you show me what you know so I could end up like you? I don't want to end up like all the other roofers up there right now. They're doing drugs on the roof. He said, who are you? I said, I'm James. I'm your insurance policy. I can insure you have roof leaks or not. You might want to show me something, huh? So he showed me some basic stuff. And so I had a brand new car in high school, had no loan on it. My guidance counselor had a Mazda. And I bought a house right after I turned 18, and she rented an apartment. The world will give you what you're willing to accept. And so you can have so much education that you don't know jack about donuts. You need knowledge. Knowledge smokes education. And once you know what other people don't know, you can accomplish things that God put on your heart. Because some of you beautiful people in here, God has given you visions and dreams of things that you could do in the future. But see, you have a why, but you don't know how. And once you know how, it's a game changer. And when my first baby was born as a little boy, and I wanted a little girl, but it was a boy, God sometimes gives you the opposite of what you ask for, just for fun. And I'm holding it. I hadn't named it yet, so it was it. And it came out 24 inches long. Wow. I thought, is there ever an end to this? It just kept coming. And it was a whopper, and they handed me it. And I looked at it and said, you're the most beautiful little boy God ever created. When you grow up, you're going to do things that men only dream of because you're amazing. And he just gave me that look, like the lady over here on the 10th row, the Quaalude look. The look. But I kept saying it to him every day. I said it about 10,000 times before he hit 3, and then he'd walk around the house going, Daddy, I'm amazing. I go, you are, don't you ever forget it. Do you know that words are prophecy? What you say will manifest itself in your life and walk you to success or drag you over broken glass. And some of you, the meanest person you've ever met is you. Because you've lost your mojo. You don't realize who you are. You're the daughter of the King of the universe. You're the son of the King of the universe. But you don't feel like it. Now watch this. This is Major League. So that little boy, I collect cars. I've had hundreds of cars. When my guidance counselor would be shocked. And I don't believe in allowances because that's socialism, like the mayor of New York City that's running. And if you don't work, you don't get any money. That's how I believe. And I could afford to have my cars detailed, but I go, no, I'm going to show you how to do it. 3-year-old little boy named Ryan. He's short, so he can do the wheels and bumpers. And it takes 4 hours to detail one the way I do it. Then I give him $1 because I wanted to be the first employer to rip him off and not pay him well. Let him know how it is in the real world. Work hard, not get paid well. And so I gave him $1, and then I said, I'm going to show you something they don't show students at big universities because the professors don't know what they don't know. And I said, that $1 I gave you in real estate at a 5 capitalization rate, if you save it or earn it monthly, at the end of the year, it's worth $240, and $10 is worth $2,400, and $100 is $24,000, and $1,000 is $240,000, and $10,000 is $2.4 million. I said, that's how money works. He's 3. Did he understand? I just kept teaching him. In the Bible, what is love? Love is kind. Love is patience. Love is what? Patience. Love is mercy. So by the time he hit the 3rd grade, he was smarter than all the school teachers. He was smarter than the principal. He was smarter than the district superintendent. He knew how money works. And see, the little boy grew up. He's no longer little. He's 6'8". Wow. He weighs 265 pounds. And he's rich because he knows how money works. And so I showed him stuff. See, the big dog taught the pup the path to follow. Come here, boy, sit. This is how you do it, baby. And if you don't show your kids, who's going to teach them? Somebody that doesn't know jack about donuts? Oh yeah, the world will give you what you're willing to accept. But see, some of you, God has put in your heart something you could do, but you don't have the time and you don't have the money. So today is about symmetry, so you can create it. And see, people that have a lot of money, they want to save, protect, hedge, and grow. And people that don't have any money, they want to grow, hedge, protect, and save. And it's the same, it's just upside down. And the world will give you what you're willing to accept. And when we pulled up here, I saw the parking lot. Man, there's some cars in there, and some of you need a new car really bad. There's like a Ford Escape. I saw you need to. Escape. You're Ford. And then there was some really good rides, man. There were some cool cars out there. And some of you, you're just awesome. You got a lot of money. You're an IT manager. Oh, it's awesome. You see, you're not here today for you. You're here today for your daughter who may get divorced in 9 years and be left with 3 kids and be ripped off. And if you're not okay, you can't help her. And some of you will go to your annual medical exam and your doctor office will call you and say, we need to see you again on Monday as soon as possible. We need to talk to you. It's going to take your breath away. That's called living. I've had people tell me, if there was a God, why would my mom pass away? Why would my daughter been killed in a car wreck? It's called living. And God didn't do that to you. And a lot of people, Satan will do everything he can to throw you under the bus and get you to the highway of hell. And watch this. There's so many great people in this room that could accomplish things. And too much is given, much is expected. So Ryan owns property now in 32 states. He's got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate. And I'm not proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that he and some of his friends have built 126 churches in inner cities where denominations don't go. I'm proud that he pays for aqua deep wells to be drilled in Africa so that beautiful women don't have to carry heavy fibers of water like 8 miles to their village. I'm proud of that. Money magnifies you. If you're a jerk and I make you rich, you'll be a rich jerk, just like George Soros. A puke. If you're a nice person and love Jesus and you have a lot of money, you can change the world and your world and other people's world. And that's how the real world works, and that's why I hope you're here today. We're going to get it on. This is the only overhead I didn't create. Your government did it, so you know it's stupid. And so this overhead just shows you how much money they print backed by nothing. The chairman of the Fed, man, is he jacked up? Interest rates should be lowered right now, but they just keeping them up there like a kite. And so watch this. It's kind of wild. We're 37 trillion in debt. The beautiful New Deal. This is not political, but the beautiful New Deal will probably over 10 years at 20. BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, BRICS. They don't talk about it anymore. CNN isn't smart enough to do a commentary on it. MSNBC, ABC, CBS, they're journalism majors that are telling you what you're supposed to think. They don't know jack about donuts. And you're going to see things happen in the future going to take your breath away. And when you're prepared, you can handle it. Joseph was told, tell the people to store up for the future. That's what Joseph was told as number 2 person under Potiphar. And it's just knowing how to do this. And then Potiphar's wife was a little hoe. She wanted to, like, you know, it was like they were at a Coldplay concert. So instead of hugging her, he said, no, stay away from me. I'm true to my Lord God Almighty. And then he told all the people, it's time to store up. I'm telling you, it's time to store up. And that is not a joke. And this overhead, watch this, this shows all of the stock market. You heard a presentation earlier by another speaker, and this is a stock market from the 1800s to date. And then you take all of those actions that have gone up and down, and this is the white line up there is where we are right now. The market goes up and it goes down, and you can make money. It's like being bipolar. Some of you are, so you totally understand that. And so this is kind of wild. This dude right here, JP Morgan, his name is Jamie Dimon. Jamie Dimon is really smart. And there's a guy that about 2.5 years ago, after eating ice cream, went to bed early, and he did an executive order called 14067. If you want to look it up while I'm talking, go for it, Holmes. What was that? It's an executive order by the president. I'm sure they did it at about 11 o'clock at night so that you would be asleep and wouldn't notice it. But that executive order was to introduce digital currency to the United States of America. It's like a Trojan horse. And nobody talks about it. Why would they want to do digital currency? I love going to universities that wouldn't let me attend, that asked me to speak. I know you have to think about that. And I asked them, do you know about digital currency? Why would they do that? Do you realize they're getting rid of currency? Why? So they can surveil you. And so this dude right here is introducing digital currency all over the world right now. And he just dumped $150 million of his own company stock. He just dumped it. Warren Buffett, you ever heard of the Buffett? Warren Buffett? He just dumped about $500 million of Bank of America for some of the disgusting behavior that they conduct. And if you work for them, I could care less. I just told you the truth. Why don't you do something different? Let me help you. And then watch this, 48 members of Congress have been dumping stock. I'm sure Nancy could tell Paul, and you could watch what Paul does. I mean, it's just kind of crazy. NVIDIA stock, 9 billionaires are selling it off right now. So once you know how to play, things start to change for you. And then the 3 columns of wealth, door number 1, door number 1, door number numero uno, door number 1. Real estate has created more millionaires than any other single source. That is a fact. And it's kind of awesome to see there are people in here that don't believe they can play. Oh yeah, you can. And then the financial market, you heard a presentation on that. And then business. This drives me crazy. Most people in this great state take financial advice from car salesmen. And it's like, are you kidding me? And it's not personal. If you're a car salesman, God bless you, whatever. But when you go buy your Kia, I don't need financial advice from a Kia salesman. Well, what do you mean? Well, they'll say, give me your driver's license. The next thing you know, your car or SUV or truck or pickup truck is now titled in your name. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you set up a business and let your business buy the car? And now my business pays for my gas, my tires, my insurance, my toll pass, pays for everything. And see, I have a company, like dinner last night, my company paid for it. And I've never had a vacation. That's what people that don't know what they're doing do. I've never had a vacation. I only take business trips. Why? They're tax deductible. And I stay in really nice places. And so every year, I have to have an officer shareholders meeting with my company, and I'm the only owner. And so every year I meet with myself, and I go, have you been proud of me this year? Yes. I believe I need a new couple cars. You know, I like cars. Would you hook me up? Yes. I want to go to Europe. Okay. I don't like flying in the back in row 32. It's okay. Get up there in row 4. I take care of myself. All in favor say aye. The ayes carry and the crowd goes wild. And see, once you become a player, you're not a fan. And you can do things you don't think you can do. And it's just knowing how to play. And see, God is so amazing. He uses all kinds of cast-offs in the Bible. The first person that found Jesus Christ was an ex-prostitute, Mary Magdalene. The founder of the church used to kill Christians for sport. And he wrote a lot of the best parts of the New Testament. I don't care what you've done. If you've been to prison, I love you, brother. I love going to prisons and speaking to prisoners. I have no judgment. I don't care what you've done. I care what you want to do. I don't care what you've accomplished. I care what you want to accomplish. And if you've been in prison, God bless you, brother. God bless you, sister. I just want to help you. And do you know what's bizarre and a little crazy? I'm in Houston at the Toyota Center. 25,000 people were there, and the orange man spoke. I know some of you're going, oh, I really don't like him. Get over it. God can use anybody. Get over yourself, snowflake. And Robert Kiyosaki was there. Richard Branson was there. A whole bunch of famous people. And then I was there. Thunderstruck, the crowd. And when I was done, I'll even do it today. When I'm done, I'll walk over here and I'll meet a few of you. Most of you won't come up because I scare you. You're so afraid. But I'll talk to people. And this little guy came up to me and he said, Mr. James, I never heard nobody speak like you in my whole life. I said, I know. I go, where are you from, Holmes? He said, I'm from Honduras. I said, welcome to America. I said, so. He said, would you please help me like that man helps you? I said, that's why I'm here, bro. I'm here for you. If you're the only person here, I'm here for you, man. I can change your life. And his name is Jose. It's like part of the national anthem. Jose, can you see? And so I'm talking to him. He says, I make $10 an hour. I'm AC repairman helper. And I live in an apartment with 5 other Honduran guys, and I just want to do so good for my family. He said, I take you to dinner tonight. I said, where do you want to go? He said, how about Taco Bell? I said, I haven't eaten cat food in a long time. So we go to Taco Bell where they squeeze that brown meat out of that plastic bag. I can't eat it. Neither will RFK Jr. I can't eat that. But I watched him. It's gross. And I stayed until they closed, and he went to a class and I trained him, and he's my worst student I've ever trained in my life. For 2 years and 2 months, he would make offers and people would turn him down and say, no. See, I'm dyslexic. No looks like on. And so I said, buddy, this works if you work. Don't give up hope. I showed him what he was doing wrong, and finally someone said, yes. Another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and Freddie Mercury wrote a song just for me, and another one bites the dust. And he got another one, and then he bought a black Ferrari, brand new, and a red Porsche, brand new, and a Rolex, and custom-made clothes, and shoes that real men shouldn't wear, made by Gucci. Those look like elf shoes. Real men should not wear those. You are a little buttercup if you wear those. So watch this. After he was rich, I said, have you had enough? He goes, what do you mean? I said, "You had enough." I said, "I believe God wants you to go back where you came from so that we can go down there and do in South America what I'm doing in North America, and we'll teach the people in South America so that women don't come here and get raped on the way and children don't get sold into sex slavery." And so, watch this. Last night at dinner, Nick Vujicic, when everybody left, said, "Hey, I'm doing 5 days in 5 countries in South America, doing crusades, telling people about Jesus Christ. He's got no arms and no legs, but God said, you are perfect for my people in South America. I don't care anything about you, baby. You can accomplish things if you want to, or you can watch television like a moron. You can be a player, or you can be a zero." And so watch this. So I go down there, I go to Cartagena, I go to Bogota, Medellin, Colombia, been all over South America and helping people. And then this happened. I go to a little place called Buenos Aires, and 2 men came up to me and go, Mr. James, we never have nobody speak like you. I said, "I know." They said, "Would you please have dinner with us tonight?" I said, "Why do you want to have dinner with me?" They said, "We saw Jesus Christ in you today. We just want to see more of that. I want, when people meet you, that they see Jesus in you. And if I upset any of you here today, I could care less. I'm telling you what I have been told to tell you. So you just need to strap in. I'm only warming up yet, babe. So catch this. Here's what's important. Our country's a train wreck. Satan divides, subtracts, and minimizes, and God adds, subtracts, and magnifies. And our country has a lot of bad things going on. That's a fact. However, this is kind of crazy. Knowing how to position yourself, you can change your own economy and not worry about the economy and position yourself correctly. And a lot of us, we work really hard and we give our money to companies that have big, big, beautiful buildings. And you give your money to banks. And in a bank, there's a rule of 78, rule of 76, rule of 72. You take any money you earned and you divide it into 72, any interest they pay you. And that's how many years it takes your money to double. One time. Banks will pay you like 1%. 1%, 72 years for your money to double. And that's taxable. But you're never going to get ahead. And that's why like banks like Wells Fargo use a stagecoach as their emblem, because it's a stagecoach robbery. And so, if you work for them, awesome. Let me help you get a real job. And so it's just knowing how to position and get ahead in life. And then my dad was a pastor, and he had a master's degree, and he worked really, really hard, and we lived in some gross cities and bad neighborhoods because he didn't have a lot of money. And I'd ask my dad, why in the world are you moving us here? He said, well, God told me to come here. I said, well, I'm glad he told you, because he did not tell me. And so my dad, too much is given, much is expected. And my dad got the National Geographic because he wanted to travel, but he never could because he didn't have the money. So he would take the National Geographic to travel through the pages. Stupid magazine. And so as I became successful, I made more money in 2 weeks than he did in his whole life, multiple times. And I was able to fly him to places he wanted to go in first class and stay in really cool places. Money magnifies you. And when he died, and he did die, he died at my house. His head bounced off my leg. And it broke my heart. But see, there's nothing that I didn't do and nothing I didn't say thousands of times, because I don't want to live my life, and I don't want you to live your life in regret. And if you had bad parents, and some of you had horrible parents, forgive them. Flush the toilet and let it go. Because if you dwell on all the negatives in life, it will take you out. Whatever happened to you isn't who you are, it's just what happened to you. Don't be a victim. Victims never win. Victims stay victims. And so you can be a victim, or you can be a victim. And that's the way the world works. And then catch this. This is wild. We're coming back here, and we're going to do some classes, and I'll be there. And most of you go, oh my word, I can't imagine you in a class. Oh, you have no idea, Holmes. I will light you up. And show you not why to do things, but show you how. So you can do things and position yourself and do that. And I know some of you are realtors, and awesome realtors. But see, when you analyze what you do, you make commissions, which are like being a waitress making tips. And that's never how to really get ahead. I want you to be a principal. How are you going to deal with NAR? I've had my real estate license longer than most of you have been alive. But I don't list houses. I don't schlep people around town in the back seat hoping I get a commission. That is not the way to make money. You should be a principal. And we'll show you how to do some stuff you may not have ever heard of before. If you have bad credit, you can still play, but you got to know how. And the reality check, this is so crazy. Women live longer than men because they're superior, and a lot of old women don't have anything going on, so they watch a lot of TV, and they watch The View every morning, which is like watching a toilet that won't flush. It just goes around and around, and it never goes down. It's just disgusting. I mean, it's horrible. And then this is kind of crazy. When you look at this, we got about 100 million people that are living paycheck to paycheck, and they got more month left over than money to go around because they don't know how money works and how to get ahead. And that's unfortunate. And then this drives me crazy. A man meets a woman, they fall in love, and he's so kind and she's so sweet, and they say the right things, and he opens the door, and then they get married. And they spend, watch this, less than 60 seconds a day talking to each other, looking at each other eyeballs to eyeballs. Do you know that eyes are magic? And then they'll spend 4 hours and 29 minutes a day watching moronic, stupid television, watching Dancing with the Dorks, watching, oh my God, you're my idol. Watching The Masked Singer, which is the stupidest show I've ever seen in my life. I take The Masked Singer deer hunting with Dick Cheney. Let the bodies hit the floor. That's the stupidest show. Really. And then men that don't have a life play fantasy football, and it's 196 hours a year to play. And if you did what I show you to do in 196 hours, you could change your destiny. Or you could just play games because and they're advertising kingdom stupid games right now, like Candy Crush. You're a moron if you buy it. Now watch this. Next time you gotta watch a game because you're addicted to sports, you all have a favorite team, watch this. Next time, turn the television on, the game's on, put it on mute. Get on your knees, men, in front of your wife. Look her in the eyes. Tell her 50 things she does that you adore and love about her. Don't blink. Give her 50. The game is on right over her shoulder. It's on mute. But after you give her 50, you won't know who scored in the first quarter, second quarter, halftime, third quarter, fourth quarter. You won't know who scored it all, because if you do that, you just scored. And I know a lot of you didn't catch that because you're dead from the neck down, but Walgreens can help you in a massive way. So just think about that. And this is wild. Where you spend your time, your heart is. And any man can father a child. It takes a real man to be a dad. And I taught my boys, I got 6 granddaughters. I said, the first man that dates one of my granddaughters, it better be you, and you start at 2, and they take them out on a monthly basis, not to Burger King, not to stupid McDonald's or Taco Plug Your Arteries Bell. They take them to nice restaurants where you need reservations and you have to dress appropriately. And watch this, if she's not that important to you, some creep will be happy to invest time that Satan sends to your family. So watch this, get it on, be a real man, do the things you need to do in life. And watch this, some of you, your credit's so bad, it's outside this place smoking a cigarette right now, waiting for you to come out, maybe a roach. But watch this is like next level. Some of you have had a bankruptcy and you just lost hope. Man, you can do things you don't even think you can do. Knowing how is everything. And then this is kind of wild. Foreclosure. They should add a verse to the Bible. Foreclosure will always be with you. We think we'll have about 1 million foreclosures in the next 12 months, and we're 7 million houses short of the actual market need. This is an awesome time for wealth creation. Knowing how to play is everything. In fact, watch this. Some of you bought a house 10 years ago, 12 years ago. The property value has gone up $200,000 or $300,000, and you didn't have a lot of money to put down. You were a high loan-to-value ratio loan, so they put PMI insurance on your mortgage. And guess who pays for it? You. You're paying for insurance that covers a mortgage company. And your value has gone up on your house. You're no longer a high loan-to-value ratio loan. You're now a low loan-to-value ratio loan. Do you know in the Bible it says you have not because you ask not? Do you realize I could show you how to get rid of your PMI insurance so you could take the $100, $200, $300 a month, apply it toward your principal balance, and pay your stupid house off in years instead of decades? If you vector 3 degrees, you end up in another solar system. We want to help you weave a tapestry made out of Kevlar called your financial independence so you can get it on and position yourself correctly. And that's why we're here. And we spend more money on coffee and soft drinks than we do our after full education. And if you want to invest in yourself, nobody else will either. I fly on Delta all the time, and Delta stands for Don't Expect Luggage to Arrive. Mostly ever. They're trying to find one of my bags right now. And when you fly them, they always say the same stupid thing. If the mask drops in flight, please put it on yourself first. Like I'm gonna run around the plane with duct tape and a mask. It's a stupid announcement. But why are they saying that? Because if you're not okay, you can't help anybody by you. But I would add not just physically, emotionally, morally, spiritually. It's okay for you to be okay so that you can leave a legacy of hope and purpose for your entire life. So when you die, God will say, well done, my good and faithful servant. So glad you're here. I think Hulk Hogan heard that, don't you think? The Hulk heard it, babe. The Hulk heard it. I love that. And see, some of you that waste your time on things that have no value, and you just watch a bunch of stupid games on TV, he may hit a red button on his desk, and the floor opens up. He may play some AC/DC for you, and it's not the kind of music you want to hear. You want to position yourself correctly. And we got a lot of gorgeous, beautiful women in here, and women are superior. They live longer, they look better, they last longer. Oh, relax. Watch this. God made man first, then he fixed it. Came up with a better model. And so, watch this. There's so many things you can do as women to position your family correctly. And if he won't help you, that's why God helped somebody develop a wheelbarrow, put him in it, and just take him to where he needs to go. And that's what you're supposed to do. And my 6 granddaughters, I've asked all of them, what do you want to do when you grow up? And they go, I want to do what you and my daddy do. And my oldest son, Ryan, went to Cheesecake Factory when he was 28. He was wealthy. He sat at a high top at 9:30 at night. He asked his waitress, what's your name? She said, Jamie. He said, you enjoy working here? She said, no. She said, I'm a senior at the university and I'm getting a degree in economics and finance, and I'm working here so that I could help my mom. My father abandoned us and my brothers, and I'm just helping her financially. He said, I could really help you. Let's have coffee in a few days. He had coffee with her. He started dating her. He married her, and she is my daughter-in-law. We don't care what you do for a living. We care what you want to do for life. What you do for a living isn't who you are. It's what you do. And watch this. The biggest mess up on the screen up here is having one source of income you don't control. You need multiple sources of income that you do control. And the second biggest mistake is taking advice from people that are 6 clicks left of stupid, and you ask them for their advice. It could be a family member, and you ask them, and then you take their advice, and they don't know nothing, and neither do you. And you just live like Moses in a circle. The best offense is a defense that shuts it down, and understanding the tax code. Some of you in here own property right now, but your accountant is lazy and never told you about cost segregation because it's an extra tax form, and they don't do it because they don't want to do it. They're lazy. It's just like going to McDonald's. You end up as a chicken McNugget under a warmer, and you don't know how you ended up there. They process you, and that's what a lot of accountants do. But knowing that, see, even if you haven't done it, you know you can go back and amend your taxes and correct it and take an advance write-off up front, and it's huge. But see, you don't know what you don't know, and once you start knowing what you don't know and position it correctly, you start to understand. And then this is crazy. My son, I taught my boys this, when you get a loan, they get loans that are called non-recourse loans. I can show you how to get a non-recourse loan, which means you don't guarantee the debt. The property in your business does. And once you know how the real world works, all of a sudden you shift gears and you can accomplish things you didn't think you could accomplish. And a little bit of knowledge goes a whole long way to position yourself. You got to improve your credit and have an awesome retirement program. A 401k at work may not be the right one for you. And so knowing to have one that's correct, that helps you grow and build, is everything. This is one of my best friends. He's my brother from another mother, Les Brown. Les Brown says, if you do what in life is easy, your life is going to be very hard. If you do what in life is hard, like learn something you don't know, your life could be easy. And when he was born, he had a twin brother, and Les flunked elementary school multiple times. His mother lived in an area of Palm Beach, Florida. And they were very poor. She cleaned houses for rich people. And he told his mama, Mama, I know I'm not good in school, but when I grow up, I'm gonna buy you one of the houses and rich people live in, and I'm gonna buy you a Cadillac. She goes, okay, Les, think I love you. And then he grew up. And he was a janitor at a radio station in Chi-Town, Chicago. And the DJ came in drunk on a Saturday night, and they pulled the plug and said, Les, get in there. Just do your best. Do the set, 4-hour set. He did. He crushed it. He just smiles as he talks. He's just such a cool dude. And then he started doing conventions. He became wealthy. He flew into Palm Beach and went to the Cadillac dealership, bought a brand new Cadillac, picked up his mom and drove over to a house she used to clean with a semicircle driveway, and he put in his pants and pulled out a set of keys and opened the front door. He says, Mama, I bought you this house. She said, I used to clean it. He said, you still are. It's your house. Money magnifies you, people. You can do things you don't think you can do. I love that, and I love him. He's such a cool dude. And then why real estate? It's food, water, and shelter, the things that we have to have. And this great state feeds so many people in this great country. Without this state, we would be in a whole lot of trouble as a nation. It's a wonderful state. But watch this. Tax benefits from real estate are huge. And you can make money in chunks. What do you mean chunks? Like bonuses. Have you ever got like $1 million bonus or something because you're a good person at work? Probably not. See, could real estate do that? Yeah. Actually, I don't live in the state of Texas, but one of my students does and asked me if I would help them. So I was in Dallas, so I flew over to Dallas and I got in a rental car and drove to Longview, which is like Children of the Corn. And I went over there, and I would never live in Longview. It doesn't have a view, and it certainly isn't long. It's off of I-20, so I helped the guy, and I said, what's going on here that I might be interested in? He said, well, there's a rumor the Super Walmart's coming, but nobody knows where it is. I said, I can find it in 30 minutes. Sit back and eat some popcorn, watch. I found the location. And I drove over there. There are 9 white pickup trucks with with survey equipment out there. So I went up to one of them and said, what's going on here? He says, we're under an NDA. We can't say, but they're headquartered in Bentonville, Arkansas. Yes! Watch this. I bought 3 acres across the street, sold it to a franchisee of Marriott. You ever heard of them? And then I bought 54 acres next to it, and it's under contract right now. So watch this. If you want to get ahead in life, there's opportunities for everybody, or you can watch TV, or you can just waste your time on things that have no value. You can be powerless or powerful. It's your choice. And just knowing how is everything. And then low income, middle income, and upper income. Those are the 3 kinds of properties that are in our country. Low income. In the Bible, it says the poor will always be with you. You'll never get rid of them. And I can pick up property in the hood, and everybody calls it the hood, high crime area. I get property in the hood, and then put Section 8 tenants in there. And if they stay in the property for 180 months, which is 15 years if you're not good with math, I could give them the deed to the house. And some of you go, well, you won't make any money doing that. You could be blue blood Rolls Royce in your face, heinously wealthy, and helping low-income people get ahead. And how many of them are there? Oh, there are millions. I turn hoods back into neighborhoods by giving people hope. And once you do that, you accomplish 2 things. So catch this. When people go to prison and they get out, they're not allowed to go home. They got to go to a halfway house. Where do you get those? In the hood. How do you get rid of them if they bother you? I don't have to go to court to get them out. I call their parole officer and say, I'm having a problem with John Bob. Why don't you go get them? and they pick them up in a squad car. I mean, it's a pretty quick eviction process. So watch this. I want to help people get ahead, position themselves. And then this is wild. If you have rental property, that should always be in a middle-income neighborhood if you want rental property. And I have, my dad had a sister named Gladys. She had a daughter, my first cousin, named Georgianne. And Georgianne is special needs. Her IQ is probably 75. She's smarter than most professors at universities. And why did you say that? Oh, she smiles all the time. She's extremely happy. And when I talk to her, she spits a lot. It's like walking into a rainforest. It's just so refreshing. You get words and spit. And I said, do you believe in Jesus? Yes, I talk to Jesus all day long. Are you happy? Yes, I'm very happy. And she spits on me. She's happy and believes in Jesus, and she smiles all day long. Checkmate. Why did you mention her? Oh, when she turned 18, she became the ward of the state. They got to feed her, clothe her, and house her, house her, house her, house her. I could get a house in an average neighborhood, turn it into a special needs house, and make more money off of it than you will with several rental property. And they don't trash your house out. They go to bed with chickens, get up with chickens, and you are solving the heartache of a mother who had the baby. What's going to happen to my baby when I am no longer here? You can be a solution for so many prayers that people shoot up to our Lord and Savior. Or you can just sit on your rear end. And then upper income, that's where I live. Where people have really awesome cars and perfect teeth. That's my neighborhood. And here's what's wild. When my dad died, my mom said, please don't put me in one of them nursing homes. I said, well, you better be real nice to me. I want my mom close enough I can walk to see her, but too far for her to walk to see me. It's top control. And you get a house where the beautiful people live with perfect teeth, that is perfect for assisted living care. And you can make a ton of money off of just one bedroom. And just knowing how is everything. And this is awesome. Asset protection. Have you ever seen those ads where they run them all the time? Have you been hurt or injured? Call us, Beavis and Butthead. We'll file a lawsuit. You weren't breastfed long enough? Let's sue your mother. I mean, they just run these stupid ads. And so at the class, we show you how to protect yourself and turn yourself into a porcupine so that you're like 10 foot tall and bulletproof. And then understand how to reduce your taxes. Give unto Caesar's what is Caesar, but don't give Caesar a bonus. And understand taxes, which most people don't. At the impact class are kind of next level. We'll show you how to do things you probably never thought of before, and how to find, fund, get things. And then watch this, there's software. I don't even have to go to the courthouse that you can use to find properties. And some of you go, well, if I had software, I'd need a computer. I don't like computers. Would you have a 5-year-old in your family? They could probably help you. And it's just knowing how. That's everything. And we cover a lot of stuff for you so you have multiple sources of income so you can get it on and maybe go on a mission trip with me. That'll take your breath away. Watch this. Every day, 22 of my veterans commit suicide. Why? Because they're running on empty and lost hope. Some of my mission trips I'm doing currently are helping my veterans that are homeless, that have all kinds of problems, get off the street. So watch this. When the student is ready, the master always appears. So you can do the things you hadn't thought of before. And there's 2 good reasons to go into debt. One is for knowledge and information you don't have, and another is if an investment yields you more than the interest you pay, it's a good reason to go into debt. And watch this. I love this. DEA, Drug Enforcement Agency, on the screen. Do people ever get busted for selling drugs? Yes. I love it because I love going to DEA auctions and getting all their stuff. Most people don't know how to do those. They don't even know where they are because the DEA doesn't run them. Somebody else does. And then probate. Most people don't set their estates up properly. We cover that in the class. And then understanding the whole process of probate is next level. And then this is kind of for me. If you served in the military at all, or you are a Gold Star family member, would you stand up for all of us so we could tell you we love you? Would you stand up real quick? Thank you guys. Wow, love you. Wow, all up in the upper deck. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. We are free today to be here because these beautiful people stood up for us. And some of them have friends that can't stand up because they're no longer alive. They gave the ultimate sacrifice. And if your grandparents or father or anybody served in Vietnam, tell them this weird guy that was on stage at this event, they didn't advertise him, said to tell you, welcome home. Welcome home. And Jane Fonda is a peep. Tell him I said that, okay? Anyway, all good. Here's the foreclosure process in this great state. Here's a property I picked up, built in 1968 with green check carpet. The guy in the house went to prison. The house was a foreclosure, boarded up windows. Black mold, I love black mold, it's like caviar. I love cat urine, the house was infested with cat urine. Oh, I love that smell, it smells like money. And see, sometimes realtors will run in the house, oh, it's got black mold. And they go back, see, I love black mold. I love problems because I'm a problem solver. And so this house, it has 4 Harvest Gold bathrooms, so you don't have to flush as often as I guess is why they did that. It had an avocado green kitchen. Man, it needed everything but the chips. And so, the house is gross. So, I got it, and just like Nick Vujicic, I didn't use any of my arms or legs or hands on this house. I had other people do it. And it looked like that. The backyard looked like that.
Oh, wow.
And you know what's awesome? I now have options. What are they? I can move in it and call it my home. Or I can flip it and make a mother load, or I could put it in my self-directed 401k that's only for me, put it in that. Or I could put it in my grandchildren's educational IRA so they could go to any form of education in the future they want, and it doesn't have to be a big university with a big football team. They could actually learn how to fly a plane or be a scuba diver or go to Paris, France and do art, and it could pay for it. One stupid property. And then my oldest son, Ryan, this is kind of cool. This is his first real estate deal he did. This is Chattanooga, Tennessee, and he doesn't live in Tennessee, and he's never moving there. And he didn't use any of his own money on this deal. That's good because some of you don't have any money. So how did he do it? With knowledge. What do you mean? It's an asset-based loan. When he closed, how much did he make? First month, a little over 10 grand. Does he still have the property? Did he flip it? Oh, he kept it. So you can make money by flipping the property, or you can keep it. He kept it. It's now bringing in over 20 grand a month. And if you do 20 times 12, that's, decent on one stupid property. And what is this called? Affordable housing. And it's in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And he owns property all over the country. Just knowing how is everything. And here's some companies you all have seen before. Airbnb is that weird medical looking symbol up there. And see, watch this. You don't even have to own a property to put it on Airbnb. You could do a long-term rent on a property and then go to Marketplace, get furniture, set it up, and put them in places where people come on a regular basis, maybe close to a hospital. Maybe close to where people that are addicted to sports want to hang out. And then all of a sudden now you're making money. And then watch this, there are other companies like Dick's Sporting Goods that are having issues. In the city I live in, Gold's Gym went out of business. And it's on 3 acres with a 2-story freight elevator. They went out of business. They closed their doors. You ever heard of Blockbuster Video? Close their doors. A lot of companies close their doors. Stupid companies. Watch this. Cracker Barrel's made some real bad decisions. So some people have said, I'm never eating there again. So you might see some brown buildings go out of business. Perfect for UPS maybe, who knows. But watch this. This is kind of cool. So on the Blockbuster Video, they went out of business, but the Gold's Gym, one of my dudes picks it up, converts it to a climate-controlled storage facility, and at a 5 capitalization rate, it's probably worth $32 million with an income of over 100 grand a month on one stupid property. Knowing how is everything. Or you can work hard and die dead broke. It's really your choice. And then this is wild. Where do you want to be in 5 years? 5 years is coming. Where do you want to be in 10 years? What legacy do you want to leave? What do you want to do in your future? Would you like to go to other countries and help? Would you like to help people in America? What has God put on your heart? I can't tell you what God's put on your heart, but you can. Nick Vujicic, I love him. He did his first property at 19 with no arms and no legs. I mean, you have no excuses. I don't want to hear your excuses. Well, I'm too old. Can you fog a mirror? I don't want to hear that. Too old. Whatever. Watch this. It's about getting it on time. And some of you need to go to class just to help your own kids. And so we can show you how to save or make at least $10,000. That's easy peasy. And when people meet you, I don't want everybody to think you're just a normal little person. I want you to go red and people meet you and they say, I've not met anybody like you before. My waiters and waitresses, I ask them their name and I ask them, do you enjoy working here? I don't get on my stupid iPhone. And I hear the stories. When I get in an Uber, I'll ask the driver, do you enjoy driving for Uber? I had a lady in Atlanta say, my husband left me, trashed my credit, and I now have to rent a room from a friend of mine. I have a full-time job and I drive for Uber. I said, sweetheart, I can help you. She pulled a car over and started crying and said, I've been praying for somebody to help me. Do you realize you could glow red and be that person? That's why I'm wearing red. And if you don't like red, I could care less. It's the blood of Jesus Christ. Get over yourself, Snowflake. So watch this. I want you to glow red and stand out and not try to be a normal little person. And so that the dream of America is you can go where you want, what you want, how you want, say what you want, be what you want. I'm unemployable. Nobody would hire me. I wouldn't hire myself. I want it to where you're good to go no matter what happens. And that's positioning. And so we'll show you how to create wealth, build wealth, protect the wealth you build. That is not hard to do. And this is one of my very best friends that passed away not too terribly long ago, Zig Ziglar. I've done 150 shows with Zig, and I was always in the same green room with him. And Zig's family, he was born in Mississippi, and my mother's mom and dad were born in Mississippi, and my mom was, and I visit my grandparents, and they had an outhouse, and when you needed water, you'd have to prime the pump. So Zig always had a chrome water pump on stage, and he would say this, if you want to be successful, you have to prime your pump. And then he would pour water, and it's okay, this place is filthy. And you have to prime the pump and work really hard, and the harder you work, the more water that comes out. And that was his analogy on every talk he would do. And when he died, and he did, his wife, Jean, called me and said, please sit with the family at the funeral. It was Prestonwood Presbyterian Church in Dallas. There were about 5,000 people. I went up to the casket that was closed and started pumping the pump. And I was looking at the audience, and they were all staring at me. Oh, they were mortified, horrified. It was a Sadducees and Pharisees convention. And I don't care at all what they think. Zig would want me to pump the pump, and so would Jesus Christ. I pump the pump, Holmes. And so all I want you to do is show you how to prime your pump, pump the pump, so you have all the water you need for your family's life and lifetime. And my buddy Zig would say this, you don't have to be great to get started, but if you ever want to be great, you got to get started. And this is the best time I've ever seen. Joseph in the Bible says it really well. You got to store up for what's coming, Holmes. And if you don't, the world will pass you by. Here's my favorite overhead, because I'm almost done. These are the classes we're going to do here. You don't need to write these down. They'll have them for you. But I'll be at all your classes, so if I horrified you here, I'll mortify you when you get there, okay? So we're going to get it on and show you how to do things. Not why, but how. And you don't need chainsaws, you don't need a pickup truck with a 4-wheel drive, you don't need a dually, you don't need any power tools, you just need a mind. And you need to be coachable and trainable, and if you are, we'll get it on. The class is like $97 for 2 people to go. That's for you and somebody you did not meet in the bathroom a while ago. So, I mean, don't mess. He said to tell you that if you enrolled in the stock class or the financial class this morning, that if you decide to go to the real estate class, just show them your yellow copy, and you can leave your credit card and your wallet, and you can go to the real estate class for free. For free. You don't have to pay. And If you enrolled in the real estate class, you can now go to the stock class, the financial class, for free, and you don't have to pay for that. So you get 2 people for 2 3-day classes. That is like to enroll and go to the class. We're going to have a meetup when this is over with me, and I'll show you how to get a hold of me and contact me and give you all the information on me. So we'll do that. But I want to just say this to all of you. May our Holy Father, Lord God Almighty, richly bless you and encourage you and give you hope, because without hope, we just waste our life on hopelessness. So God bless each and every one of you in here. Thank you for being here today. We love you all. Thank you so much.